Good morning. And I am Murray Zwickel, and I use he and him pronouns. And I'd like to welcome you to Bucksmont Unitarian Universalist Fellowship's multi-platform worship, where, moved by love, we share lifelong journeys of growth, wonder, and healing, nurturing wholeness in society and spirit, creating a community of justice and compassion. I'd like to give a welcome to everyone joining us online and in person today, members, friends, and those who may be newcomers to our community this morning. As we begin our service, please take a moment to silence your cell phone. If you are new to Bucksmont and visiting us in person today, please stop by our Visitors Center in the front hallway near where you came in. There you can also make a name tag for yourself and find more information about Unitarian Universalism, Bucksmont Fellowship, and upcoming events. If you'd like a hymnal or a printed order of service, those are available near the entrance to the sanctuary. If you are visiting us online or prefer digital methods, please email our office administrator, Beverly, to sign up for our email newsletter and to get connected to our congregation. You may also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Bucksmont UU. Each week in our service, we offer time for people to share a joy or sorrow from their lives by texting a phone number. That number is shared on the screen for everyone now and will again later in the service and listed in the order of service. If you would like to see the order of service, details about upcoming services, and other ways to gather with our community, you can find that on the homepage of our website, www.bucksmontuu.org. There is a lot happening at Bucksmont, and we'd like to highlight these announcements in particular. Today's flowers are donated by Ruth Ashman and Yuli Anzola Fresnida in memory of David Alec Ashman Wells. Join us for a delightful breakfast buffet featuring crepes and goldenrod eggs on English muffins after the service on September 8th, available until 1 p.m., and all are welcome. Today, after the service, Reverend Kevin and folks from the membership committee will hold our monthly UU&U session, where you can learn about our congregation, Unitarian Universalism, and what it means to become a member of our community. We will begin at noon in the library. Reading the Wheel of Time as sacred text with Reverend Kevin. Join our summer book club on August 28th from 7 to 8:30 p.m. Get the book and find out more by emailing Reverend Kevin or reading the weekly e-newsletter. Whether you are a friend, guest, or member, we are glad you are part of our worship service today.
As we gather in our sanctuary, in our homes, or watch from mobile screens almost anywhere, we are all together. Those watching now on Sunday and those who may be watching months from now, we are joined together for worship across both space and time. This is a free, creedless religious congregation in the discipline of truth and the spirit of universal kinship. We join together in a cooperative quest for religious and ethical values, seeking to apply these values to the development of character, enrichment of the spirit, and service to all. You are welcome here, whoever you are, whomever you love, whatever the color of your skin or your country of origin, no matter your gender expression or gender identity, whatever your age, however you define family, wherever you are at this time, and whatever the source of your faith, you are welcome here.
This morning, as we do each time we gather, we kindle our Unitarian Universalist chalice. We do so today with words from Pat Rebe Lichty. Our chalice is a reminder that in hard times, our ancestors in faith acted in courage to bring hope and safety, to bring life itself to threatened people. We light it today as a reminder of who we are called to be in a world still dangerous and despairing. With courage and faith, we bring ourselves to the work before us. Please light your chalice at home. Our common chalice is now lit.
My name is Lynn Nugent. I use she, her pronouns. Rise in body or spirit, and join me in singing the first hymn, Just as Long as I
I'd like to invite forward anybody who is young or young at heart to share a story with me if you'd like. John? Yeah. If you're young at heart but not young in order to, that is okay too. That is completely acceptable. There we go. Got it on the takers. Come on up. Come on up. Great. More friends. Great. Thank you for joining. Okay. So today, oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. As you can tell, I'm not too trained. We're gonna practice together. Yo. So today for our Time for All Ages story, we have the book Change by Amanda Gorman and Lauren Long. Amanda Gorman is our youngest. I can hear change humming in its loudest song. I don't fear change, though I sing along. I scream with the skies of red and blue streamers. I dream with the cries of tried and true. I'm a chant that rises and sings. There is hope where my change is. Though some don't understand it, those windmills of mysteries, I sing with all the planet, hills of history. I hum with 100 hearts, each of us lifting a hand. I use my strengths and my smarts to take a knee, make a stand. I'm bright as the light each day brings. There is love where my change. I show others tolerance, though it might take courage. Don't make a taller fence, but fight to build a better bridge. I talk not only of distances from where and how we came, I also walk our differences, though we are the same. I'm a movement that roars and springs. There's a wave where my change. Things where, there, inside me, because I'm the change I want to see. As I grow, it grows like seed. I am just what the world needs. I'm the voice where freedom rings. You're the love your bright heart brings. We are the wave starting to spring. We are the change we see. We're what the world is becoming. No, it won't be long. All hear change strong. Won't you sing along? Now we are going to sing classes.
As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go in joy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love. As you go on your way, may you be filled with gladness. Go in joy, go in joy. May fortune bless your day with peace and loving kindness. Go in love, go in love.
The offering in liberal religion is a vital part of our history of faith. As a covenanted community, people who freely choose to be here, our voluntary giving is symbolic of that freedom of choice. Each week at Bucksmont, we share our offering with a different cause or organization in the community. For the month of August, we are sharing with the Jack and Rosemary Schieber Memorial Immigrant Scholarship Fund. The Immigrant Scholarship Fund has traditionally been our split plate for the month of September. We are hoping that by changing to August, we will be able to award the scholarships at the beginning of the fall school session. We began this split plate by awarding one scholarship. Last year, we were able to offer 2 scholarships. Our goal is to offer more scholarships to deserving immigrant students as we honor Jack and Rosemary. Your generous donations will help make this Peace and Justice Committee dream come true. We ask that you participate in our morning offering in one of these ways. You can write out a check to Bucksmont and mail it into the fellowship. You may donate online now or at the end of our worship service. Or you may place your donation into one of the baskets as they are passed. We will now receive the morning offering. Our community continues to grow and thrive due to generous donations of both time and money. For the many ways that you contribute and how it sustains this fellowship, we are truly grateful. This morning's reading is Calling by Nancy Schaefer. When you heard that voice and knew finally it called for you and what it was saying, where were you? Were you in the shower, wet and soapy, or chopping cabbage late for dinner? Were you planting radish seeds or sinking one lost sock? Maybe wiping handprints off a window or coaxing words into a sentence, or coming upon a hyacinth or one last no. Where were you when you heard that ancient voice and did yes get born? Right then, and did you weep? Had it called you since before you even were? And when you knew that, did your joy escape all holding? Where were you when you heard that calling voice, and how, in that moment, did you mark it? How, however, are you changed? Tell us, please, all you can about that voice. Teach us how to listen, how to hear. Teach us all you can of saying yes.
Comes a time when you're drifting, comes a time when you settle down, comes a light, feelings lifting, lift that baby right off the ground. Oh, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. You and I, we were captured. We took our souls and we flew away. We were right. We were giving. That's how we kept what we gave away. Oh, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. Oh, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a under tall trees ain't laying down. There comes a time. Comes a time. There comes a time. Comes a time. There comes a time. Comes a time. There comes a time. Comes a time.
What did you want to be when you grew up? Go ahead, call out a couple of things. Teacher, forest ranger, veterinarian, actress, spy. That sounds right, Tracy. That sounds right. I can see that. Now, did your answers change over time? Tracy can't tell us, but others might. Did what you want to be when you grow up change over time? Raise your hand if it changed for you. Yeah. I also wonder how many of those answers became careers for us. The classic doctor or firefighter or dancer. I wanted to be a cartoonist and an anthropologist. Possibly both at the same time. I kept the first goal all through high school, and the second all the way through my honors thesis as an undergraduate anthropology student. The idea of one major didn't suffice for me, though. It ballooned to 3, and most of my electives wound up becoming minors. Because that was the system of education I absorbed into my bones. Make an interest into a career, or at least a complement to a potential career. I loved animation, Garfield in particular, but many of the cartoons and comics of the early 1990s that appeared on television and in comic books were things I enjoyed. I also loved mythology and the people who found those stories or who had lived them. Of course, this was often through the lens of movie characters like Indiana Jones, or other questionably accurate portrayals like those in shows such as Xena, Warrior Princess. But it was also through books that I explored with a little more authority on the subject, too. One of the challenges of our present world, particularly the economic and career parts of it, is that what you dream of becoming and what you collect a paycheck for are supposed to align. That is the myth we have been taught, and that much of larger society reflects back to us through questions like, what do you want to be when you grow up? What is your major? What do you do for a living? What I think I wanted was to be creative and to tell stories. I wanted to learn about the world and teach others about what I found. I wanted to be a perpetual student, but to no longer need to live as one economically. As I learned more, I discovered that one of the things I like most about school was learning new things and having variety in my day-to-day and week-to-week life, particularly in my work life. I wanted what I learned to be of help to others and somehow more connective than the other models I had been taught to pursue. What we are called to do in this life is a multifaceted and ever-changing thing. Our callings grow from the seeds of our dreams and interact with our lived experiences and the realities of the world around us. Rarely does the dream unfold exactly as imagined. And if it did unfold just as we wished, I don't think it would be nearly as interesting to experience. If you are still wrestling with that first question, what do you want to be when you grow up? You are not alone. I want to share some thoughts from author and community builder Emily Wapnick, author of the book, How to Be Everything, a guide for those who still don't know what they want to be when they grow up. Emily's TEDx talk, Why Some of Us Don't Have One True Calling, helps me reflect on how the concept of a calling isn't quite right for many of us. Or as Emily says, the notion of the narrowly focused life is highly romanticized in our culture. I learned a new word from Emily that I'd like to share with you now. Multi-potentialite. Multi-potentialite. A multi-potentialite is someone with many interests and creative pursuits and is a new articulation of a concept we may know by a different name, such as polymath or Renaissance person. The idea that the goal in life is to learn both broadly and deeply is not new, but the idea that one needs to navigate our highly specialized world with its current educational systems and economic realities often pushes against broad pursuits and instead asks us to find our lane as quickly as possible and to stick with it our entire life. Emily points out that there are in fact strengths to being a multi-potentialite, even in the current way of the world, and she lays out 3 of them. First, that of idea synthesis. Idea synthesis is finding the ways that 2 or more fields of study can create something new at the edges. The second strength is rapid learning. Since folks who are regularly diving into new pursuits have experience being beginners and navigating new content. Plus, there is more transferable knowledge and skills across disciplines than we often realize. And third, the ability to adapt. Being prone to change leads one to find themselves in unexpected situations often, and having a diverse skill set gives one more access to tools that may be applicable to unfamiliar situations. As Emily puts it, it is rarely a waste of time to pursue something you are drawn to, even if you end up quitting. You might apply that knowledge in a different field of study or use it in ways you could have never imagined. But perhaps you are thinking to yourself, I had an answer to what I wanted to be when I grew up as a young person, and I did it. I knew I wanted to be a computer programmer at age 5, and here I am, a computer programmer and happy. This isn't a bad thing either. Being a specialist or having a clear sense of what we want to be and having that be the through line of our career are part of our culture for a reason. When these things align, they can be wondrous and just plain work. And having someone who is more of a generalist or a multi-potentialite working with a specialist is an incredibly powerful team that can do things neither could on their own. A key problem I'm trying to explore today is that the idea of calling and that of a career having become overly commingled over time. Instead of dreaming about what you could be in a specific way, such as dreaming about a particular career, what if instead we helped our kids and ourselves reflect on all we could be and the sorts of things we love doing before figuring out which job posting holds such things? But this doesn't just apply to those who are young and thinking about what they want to be when they grow up. It applies to each of us because we are constantly recreating ourselves over the course of our lives. There is a concept in psychology called the end of history illusion, in which individuals of all ages believe that they have experienced significant personal growth and changes in tastes up to the present moment, but will not substantially grow or mature in the future, despite recognizing that their perceptions have evolved. Individuals predict that their perceptions will remain roughly the same in the future. The phenomenon affects teenagers, middle-aged individuals, and seniors. In general, people tend to see significant changes in hindsight, but fail to predict that these changes will continue. For example, a 20-year-old's prediction of how great a change they will undergo in the next 10 years will not be as extreme as a 30-year-old's recollection of the changes they underwent in the past decade. The same phenomenon is true for people of any age. So just as you have changed in the past 10 or 20 years, you will indeed continue to change in the future. As long as we are alive, we are changing and growing. The focus of what is most needed may be altered over time. The amount of time devoted to a career may be altered too. Yes, we need to navigate the world of earning a living and paying the bills, and we need to navigate the world of building a life beyond work throughout our lives. At times, it can be harder to carve out time outside of work, and even then, or perhaps especially then, it might be time to reflect on what our lives call us to. Not to the job description, but to the essential elements of how we spend our days and what those describe instead. Are you called to make beauty? Are you called to build relationships or communities? Are you called to think new thoughts? Are you called to invent new things? Are you called to see new sights? Are you called to remember what has come before? Are you called to help others? Are you called to help dream a future no one could imagine? Are you called to heal? Perhaps our calling is, as David Richo says, our universal calling as humans is to be the most loving people we can be. Because whether we are listening to a story being read to us about how to sing along with change coming and noticing there is love where our change sings, or whether we connect with today's special music, comes a time when you're drifting, comes a time when you settle down. Oh, this old world keeps spinning round. It's a wonder tall trees ain't laying down. You and I, we were captured. We took our souls and we flew away. Let us remember that our dreams matter. Let us not stop dreaming. Let us continue becoming the specialists, the generalists, the wanderers, the mystics, and those who love to stick to a plan too. Let us each answer the call and help others answer theirs. So may it be.
Prize in beauty or how do you share? Are you so beautiful? Join me in singing hymn, Let All the Beauty We Have Let all the beauty we
Let us now enter into a time of awareness within ourselves and connection beyond boundaries, connection to one another, to that interdependent web of life of which we are each but one small thread. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. As we reflect on what we are called to, let us remember our dreams as seminarian Phoenix Bell Shelton Biggs does with these words. Though at times I may forget who I am or who I am becoming, my dreams, they matter. When I make space for all that is, when I move away from that which no longer serves me, when I make space for the new possibility in the circumstances, my dreams do matter. They matter. They hold many truths and many turning points. They matter, though at times I may convince myself they don't. They do. For they call me back in time and forward still. My dreams matter. They matter as they pull me inward and yet simultaneously push me outside of myself. My dreams matter. They matter as they speak to the breadth of love, of pain, of hope that rest deep in the fabric of my blood and bones. My dreams matter as they are connected to the dreams of my ancestors, connected to all who have graced this earth before, who grace it here and now, and will be connected to all who grace this earth when we grace this place no more. My dreams, they matter. Your dreams, they matter. Our dreams, they matter. They matter. Let us each remember that our dreams matter. Let us each not stop dreaming. Let us each continue becoming. As we breathe in, we are connected. As we breathe out, we are connected. May our minds create a vision of the world radical enough to be called holy. May our actions contain the promise of hope and the commitment to justice. May our hearts remember that love is a power that resists all forms of fear. By our thoughts, by our actions, by our hearts, and by our very breath, may it be so. As part of our caring outreach to one another, we set aside a few moments to note both the sorrows and the joys in our lives. In these moments of peace and reflection, we turn our attention to one another. We hold each and all in our compassionate thoughts and the prayers of our hearts. This morning, we are adding stones to water. The bowl includes some of the water we gathered as a community way back in September. So it contains the love of our congregation surrounding each joy or sorrow. We will renew these waters at our in-gathering service on September 8th. Please bring water from somewhere special to you on that day. As we add the stones to the bowl of water, we add a piece of our own stories to the collective waters of this community, a place that also holds the memories of those who have gone before and anticipates those who have yet to arrive. To share the joy or sorrow you would like held by our caring community, text the number that is now on screen and also appears in the order of service. Please include your name along with your sharing. It is the same number no matter how you join us today, and you can add it to your contacts for future weeks. I will read them aloud, and Murray will add a stone on your behalf. What is shared today will go out in our weekly caring notes for those who cannot be with us this morning. Please remember to include your name with what you share. And now we will add a final stone for all of the joys and sorrows that remain unspoken and deep within our hearts. With stones gathered and remembrances shared, we honor our joys and our sorrows, those shared this morning and the many more that exist beyond words. Through our time together, our relationships are deepened and our community made whole.
Our chalice extinguishing words this morning are from Eric Williams. Blessed is the path on which you travel. Blessed is the body that carries you upon it. Blessed is your heart that has heard the call. Blessed is your mind that discerns the way. Blessed is the gift that you will receive by going. Truly blessed is the gift that you will become on the journey.
As our community departs from this service, may we remember all who came before. May we imagine all who will come after. May we honor all who are present with us here and now. In our time together, we create this community, one of promise, one of commitment, one of calling. In our time together, may each of us become a sanctuary for all we meet on the journey. May we go together now and return again.